Moving on to our final topic of the day. My final penny. PlayStation is reportedly prepping a February state of play for Valentine's week. This is an article that we're pulling from VGC by Andy Robinson. Why, Connor?
Because I didn't get woken up by my alarm.
Sony will stream its next state of play presentation later this month, it's been claimed. That's according to Gaming Insider. Nate the Hate, who's just on a fucking hot streak lately,
Jesus, yeah.
who frequently reveals information on the games industry and ahead of official announcements. According to the user, PlayStation's next live stream is arriving in February. Asked by an ex-user for more exact timing info on the state of play, the insider dropped a strong hint that it would take place on the week commencing February 10th. What does that mean, week commencing February 10th?
Well, February 10th is on Monday, so that entire week. Like, that's the beginning of the week.
Is that what
so it's
commencing means? What does commencing mean? I don't know what
commencing means, like, the following. Like,
So beginning
what
on
follows
February
afterwards.
10th, anytime after that.
I'll bring up the textbook definition so there was no mistake.
Fantastic. I'm going to finish reading the thing here. Sony regularly puts out a state of play in January or February to reveal some of the titles it's planning on to release during the first half of the calendar year. Last January, a state of play featured deep dives on Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin, plus looks at Death Stranding 2, Silent Hill 2. In February 2023, a state of play focused on third-party titles such as Resident Evil 4, Street Fighter 6, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Sony is planning to publish Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei in 2025, while Marvel's Wolverine and Fair Games don't yet have release windows. This week, Sony announced its intention to shift away from offering PS4 games as part of its monthly PS Plus offerings starting in 2026. Offering, quote, PlayStation 4 games will no longer be a key benefit, end quote, of the service, with Sony instead turning its focus to providing PlayStation 5 titles. How many of those are you going to get, you know, before you get fucking, the console doesn't have any fucking video games, you know what I mean?
I know. You hate that. You get triggered.
I hate it so much. You fucking gamers are entitled to shit.
Kevin's triggered. Look at him triggered.
All right. PlayStation, state of play, set for February. Yeah, I could have told you that last week. All right. But this gives us an excuse to talk about it, Connor.
Commence means to start. That was a better way to sum that up.
To start. Yeah. Okay. All right. To start.
It was a weird way he said that.
Okay. So probably not on February 10th next week, Monday. Probably on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. These things usually happen on a Tuesday or Thursday. But, you know, we'll see.
Definitively, we're seeing Wolverine. I have no doubt in my mind.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. You know what? Might even get a little crazy here, Connor.
Yeah.
You might even get a release date for Wolverine.
I think so too. Yeah. I think it's coming out this year. And they know it's coming out.
I think there's a chance it's coming out this year. I still attest there's a better chance of Wolverine coming out this year than Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, but not exactly confident.
Really wish I could super drop Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and counterpick whoever picked Ghost of Yotei.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's time to show off Wolverine. That game's been cooking for too long. We've known about it for too long. We're also well over a year from Spider-Man 2. We're not getting any Spider-Man 2 DLCs.
We've had two different pieces of that game scene. One of them being like investigatory elements where he's like sniffing, scent trails.
Through leaks.
And then melee going on.
Yeah. Which was so early, you did not want.
We have no clue
should not have seen that.
No.
We should not have seen that, But we're nerds, so we did.
Yeah.
And people are bad. There are bad people out there.
Well, that's not really a problem. More like we just know that when we see that, we're seeing games that could be at any point in time in the development schedule.
Yeah.
And it's hard to judge any game in quality based off that alone.
Marvel's Wolverine feels like a good time. It's a good time to show that off. I do believe it's coming this year. I think we get a deeper dive into Death Stranding 2 here. With a hard date. I believe Death Stranding 2 is a lock for this year. Easy lock for this year.
Was it already confirmed?
It's just got a 2025 year on it.
I see.
So, but makes sense. Death Stranding 1 was 2019, and sure, Kojima did some movie stuff in between, but you're going to tell me it's going to take more than 6 years to put out a sequel to this fucking game where you're just walking around?
Good.
Just walking around. Fucking packages.
Maybe it's not that much of an improvement.
Holding your triggers, keeping your balance.
What if it's not an improvement?
All you got to do is make a new map. 20 hours of fucking cutscenes.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Listen, Death Stranding is a game where I skip a lot of cutscenes.
do.
A lot of them. Listen, how many times do I need Conan O'Brien telling me I did him a huge favor? Thanks for bringing him up. I don't need to see you, Conan O'Brien. Thank you very much.
Funny guy though.
Not in Death Stranding. It's just his face.
Wow.
Not even his voice.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
There's a lot. Sam Lake is in that game. Jeff Keighley's in that game. A couple other notable actors are in that game. Just their faces, though.
Well, with that being said,
Troy Baker's really great in that game. I really wish he didn't take it out of the running, man. That's a great game.
2 Kojima games.
Back to 3 Kojima games
Yeah,
back
three
to
Kojima-
No,
yeah.
wait, because Phil's in the middle. So never mind. Yeah, 2 Kojima games back to back. Listen, we would have had his absolute best work, and then one of the pretty good ones. Pretty good. It's all right.
I wouldn't want that.
What are we talking about?
Right now.
PlayStation State of Play.
Correct. Beyond Wolverine, I'm struggling to think of what they're really going to come out with because there's what else is there?
Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
Update of some kind, I think is a pretty good chance in there. Metal Gear Delta, Snake Eater, lock that in. Getting a nice trailer. Really,
Short one.
probably pretty. A minute or two, couple minute long trailer. With a release date, a hard date. It's gonna be first half of this year, easy. We had previews in November, hands-on previews in November.
Yeah.
That game's coming in the next 2 months. Maybe not that much, but soon. I'm trying to think of another third-party thing. Maybe like a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Something's happening there or something. No, we already have the PC launch of that, so probably nothing Final Fantasy related. Oh, Resident Evil 9.
You say that, but that's speculation.
Resident Evil 9 announced. Probably they're gonna give a window. It's probably gonna say 2025. Whether it actually happens or not, who knows?
You know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to do a Resident Evil remake. Of what? I do not know.
I don't think it's time for that yet. And we already know Resident Evil 9 is coming with an open world type thing going on,
That's true.
so on and so forth. So yeah, it's just not time for a remake now. I would rather a remake. I like the remakes more than the other stuff, but I'm also open to just Resident Evil 9 showing me what else Resident Evil is capable of. We've seen Resident Evil in a lot of different forms. I love Resident Evil. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. I love when they switch it up, when they went from asymmetric to third person to first person. It was all great stuff. Every time Resident Evil switches up the formula, it's usually a pretty good game.
Well, you talk about Metal Gear. What if they announce the next part of that collection that people have been interested
Too
in?
early for that. You get Delta out the door, and then they say that they want for collection volume. They say collection volume 2 is happening. We'll see. And when it happens, they say they want to put in a lot of work. And MGS4 is going to require a lot of work.
Yeah.
That goddamn cell processor, fucking son of a bitch.
I'm really struggling because there's not a lot I think of I'm waiting for Sony to talk about so-and-so game. I'm getting to the point where I'm having to speculate about.
I think we're hitting
the
the big things. There's probably some third party deals that we don't know about. Ninja Gaiden 4, maybe. I don't fucking know.
I think you're going to have something similar to the Microsoft Direct in the sense of it's going to be what's coming out now. What's this
I
year
agree.
slated? Whereas Microsoft had a lot more in the oven. You're just waiting for when they announce it.
Yeah.
This Direct has the potential for taking us out of completely by surprise with what they show. Because Directs are usually longer too, aren't they? There can be upwards of 40 minutes of just
State of
game by game by
plays?
game.
State of plays usually lasts
No,
about
State of Plays,
20,
yes.
25 minutes.
Yeah, never mind. Shorter ones.
But I fully you're right. The Xbox Direct's 40 minutes, but the State of Play is usually in the 20-ish minute range. I fully expect Metal Gear Delta, Death Stranding 2. I'm hopeful for Wolverine, and I would not be surprised to see Resident Evil 9 here. That's 4. That's plenty enough. And then you sprinkle some Helldivers 2 in there somewhere.
Officially coming out with the Illuminate.
Well, they're out again now. I don't know.
They are?
I don't know why they did that little test run thing and then pulled them back or whatever. But a new season of Helldivers on the horizon or whatever, new big push or something like that. Not for immediate release, but for hey, we are coming with a big update in 3 months.
Which, to that end, I feel like whatever next big update they would do is a new enemy faction. Because
No, not again.
no, down the line, the next big unveiling.
I don't think you touch. I don't
see
think.
what you mean.
I don't think
No.
you touch that for 9 months. Easily.
Yeah, that's true.
But feed into the Illuminate. We just got the Illuminate. Let's feed into that. Let's have fun with that.
maybe in that case,
I think
more
just-
enemy variety.
New. I don't even think that. I think you're doing way too much. You're doing way too much. More vehicles, more guns, more skins. PlayStation centric. You know, they were kind of testing the waters with the Killzone, the Hellgas and stuff. PlayStation centric Helldiver costumes in some form or fashion. Here's a fucking, I don't know, Ratchet and Clank inspired Helldiver. Here's Resistance inspired Helldiver, Infamous inspired Helldivers. You know, I would say Last of Us, but what the fuck does that look like?
With those things, it's like,
oh, Last of Us, and you get clicker helmets. The helmets look like clickers.
Oh,
That's fucking dope.
But as cool as that stuff is, I feel like that wouldn't be what they would come to it with the direct. You know, if they're gonna bring Helldivers, they're not just gonna be like,
You just gave us a fucking enemy thing.
What? No, but like if they're gonna come to us, they're not gonna come with us just like, you got new skins.
You're also overblowing what I'm saying. Helldivers 2 is coming. Helldivers 2 is gonna bring something small.
Yeah, I know, but at that point,
And this
I'm
is gonna be a cool 2-minute max, like not even 2-minute trailer of like Helldivers 2 coming soon, like, and that's it. And it's not gonna be this big thing.
Mm-hmm. No, it might be a bigger thing when they do their fun little skits. People love those. Fun, feed into the whole entire feel of the game.
Just did that.
They always do that.
Sure. But like when you have 2 examples of them doing it, they did it at launch and then they did it at the Game Awards. Like,
so
you think it's gonna happen again? It's not gonna happen again.
The direct, baby. Time
Why?
to do
When
it.
you could just do it at SGF in another 4 months.
Because SGF is a bunch of other things, whereas the direct is only a couple things, so you get more attention on it.
It's also a state of play.
State of play. They have these stupid fucking names.
There's a lot of stupid names, but this is pretty simple. And you and I are trying to have some level of intelligent conversation about all this industry stuff.
Yes.
So let's at least call them what they're called.
Direct's the best named one so far. I would say that. Just like direct. It's direct. No, one word. State of play. Like play state. Just say play state.
No, state of play.
No, play state's better.
Play state is not better.
Play state's better. It rolls off the tongue way better.
Absolutely not. State of
does.
play is way better. You're insane.
Play state.
Play
PlayStation,
state?
play state, easy.
No,
already
absolutely.
in the same.
That's the
like,
same. It's the
vernacular.
same joke. It's state of play. Here's the state of PlayStation.
So I had the of. Why'd you do play state?
Because that doesn't sell what's happening here. I'm sure some marketing head was in the thing. I'm sure they had this argument, this exact argument. It probably happened behind closed doors, and then the better choice won.
You only think it's the better choice because you have no alternative. So your
Quick hype
scope
check.
is limited.
Quick hype check. Are you excited about Metal Gear Delta?
No.
Really?
I don't give that much of a care. Solely because I just played the original. And
Yeah.
so it's also like,
I mean, you did Silent Hill 2 in preparation for Silent Hill 2. You were excited about Silent Hill 2.
I did Silent Hill 2.
Game's gonna be better than that game. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but that's because the base game is better. Not because not because the DLC, because this is like, oh, this is a remake that's like doing crazy shit to it. I just don't get excited for
Excited to crouch walk?
Yeah, I did that in 5. I'll do it here. It'll be like, hey, I feel like that game will become a lot easier with doing more 5 similar to 5 gameplay.
They're saying that they're updating the enemy AI to be
I
more
remember that
advanced
now.
and stuff. So I've seen some clips where they kind of like can spot you around corners where they couldn't before. Now, it's still in like a realistic like, oh, I did get caught there. But like those old games, a little bit of jank of like, I'm kind of abusing the AI here because like they should be able to see me, but they don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna improve upon that stuff, and we'll see. I still believe, Connor, in my heart, in my hope of hopes, right? And this is a bit of a reach. I believe first playthrough, it's gonna be Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, no problem, nothing changed, 1-to-1 remake, right? Here's some quality of life updates to make everybody happier, right? New Game Plus, they're gonna do something to that. Something's gonna change. It's not gonna be just more. It's not gonna be more camouflages. It's just gonna be a new way to play the game, new mode, invisible enemies. I don't know. A randomizer. Oh god, a randomizer for that would go so fucking hard. I fucking love randomizer. Something's gonna be in that game, Connor.
Counterpoint.
A mode where they restrict your inventory, where you're just down to a pistol or some shit.
You think in that frame of mind,
Yeah.
because you're thinking this is what Kojima would do. This is Konami here. They want to make money. They're not trying to break mold.
I mean, Square Enix did it with Capcom did it with Resident Evil 1 remake.
I would give Capcom way more creative. What's the word? Respect than I would Konami as a general thing.
You can tell me it took all these years to remake Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and all I get is a visual upgrade and a crouch walk?
Are you gonna buy it?
Yes.
That's all they give a shit about.
Oh, there's got to be more.
The people who make it don't, but
And the people who made it worked directly under Kojima. They know what Kojima would do. And how much work really is it to just put in an extra game mode?
you have to find out.
Good amount of work. It's a solid amount of work. It's a lot of work, you know? But, like, how boring is that to just one-to-one? Because Snake Eater still plays fine, you know? Like, even with a modern lens on it of, like, for today, Snake Eater plays fine. Like, it's entirely playable and enjoyable the way it is right now. So how fucking lame is it? Yeah, the shooting shoots like Phantom Pain, and now you can crouch walk, and the camouflage system is better. Okay? All right. What else you got for me?
Hey, you'll like it if they do that, and they know everyone else will like it. So, the winning method by their measures.
I'm of the camp, I miss the fucking piss filter. I see the game now with the new fancy character models and shit, and I look at that and I go, that looks weird.
No piss.
No piss. Put some piss on my goddamn screen.
Yeah, it's missing that. It added to the character and the visual
It looks
striking.
too realistic now. And so the campiness of it, I'm like, how are you going to balance the realism and the campiness, you know? Like, fucking Snake Eater doesn't look real, and they know it doesn't look real, so they're like, fucking, who cares if dentures fly out of the mouths of old men?
You can still easily do that with live action stuff.
But it would look weird. It would look weird.
It already looked weird to begin with.
I don't know what you're talking
Not in a bad way, but it looked weird.
Right, this is a long podcast.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know down in the comments below what you expect the February state of play. Is PlayState as terrible as I believe it is? Connor's an idiot. And make sure you drop down in the comments below. But stick around for that MGS3 review starting in just a few moments. But until next time, have a great time. And Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Adios.